Niners, baby, suck on Christmas. And apparently against the Baltimore Ravens as a whole. I can't remember the last time the Niners beat the Ravens. Lost to them in the Super Bowl, lost to them like 3 years ago in the rain in Baltimore by a field goal, and now lose to them on Christmas. I'm just so annoyed with it. But tonight's game was just kind of odd. Fell off from the get-go. We couldn't get it into the end zone and had to settle for like a field goal. And I'm just like, this doesn't feel good. And then we weren't getting PI calls from the get-go. Juice got completely ran through, and I'm like, is this what we're going to be doing all night? It happened again on Brock Purdy's second or third pick. George Kittle got hit right through his body. The ball ended up getting tipped up because he got hit. The ball bounced off Kittle's chest, bounced straight up in the air, and another pick. But it was really weird because there were so many balls just getting tipped and bouncing straight up in the air right into the open arms of the Baltimore Ravens. And Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions. One, he was throwing, and, we went through so many linemen tonight. 4 linemen got hurt. We were down to our backup emergency lineman in there. It was like, can we do anything right? And Purdy gets hit, blindsided, and the ball just goes straight into the open arms of Patrick Queen. And I'm just like, this just sucks. One of the interceptions, Purdy didn't look off Kyle Hamilton, and that was completely on him. And he actually threw the ball late to Debo, so that was bad. That was the very first one. The one that got tipped right at the line of scrimmage, and it was just like, we can't do anything right. Penalties weren't on our side. We weren't tackling well at all night long. And when you look at the stats, the major things that stand out to me is turnovers and missed tackles, because we outgained them offensively, yards-wise. We had more yards than them. They had the ball 3 more minutes than us, but we had more yards than them. We just turned the ball over more, and we couldn't tackle. If you lose those 2 battles right there, you ain't winning. You're just not winning those games, just like normally. No way. So 33-19, I'm sure the media is going to clown Brock Purdy the rest of the week because he threw 4 interceptions, had a, honestly, bad game. The wild thing is, he still had more yards than Lamar Jackson, and he didn't even play most of the fourth quarter because he got hurt, and Kyle Shanahan's like, just get out of there. Brock Purdy still had 255 yards. Lamar had 252. So that's kind of crazy. But McCaffrey, 14 carries, 103 with a touchdown, and he dragged him into the end zone. That's cool. He should still be getting MVP considerations. I don't think this is going to knock Brock out of the conversation, but it's going to hurt his case tremendously. I think Lamar will be the odds-on favorite moving into this week. And man, I didn't have really good feelings about this game going into it. Like, if you talk to me and you've known, like, within my circle of people that I talk to about sports all the time, like, I felt like this game was not going to be wonderful for us. I didn't think it would look like this exactly, but again, looking at the stats and watching the game, just plain weird. We lost the penalty battle, we lost the tackling battle, and we lost the turnover battle. That's an L, period. That is an L. But McCaffrey had over 100 yards. Kittle had over 100 yards. Ayuk had over 100 yards. Purdy still threw for more yards than Lamar. Whatever. Next week, we'll take out our frustrations out on Washington. Yeah, the Commanders. I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be you. We're going to destroy them. Absolutely going to destroy them. And then we come back home to end the season versus the Rams, which the Rams are probably going to need that game. So that actually might be a really hard game, honestly. This is kind of like a wake-up call I think the Niners needed. Like a little dose of reality going into the playoffs. Like, hey, we can be beat, and this is how you do it. Hats off to the Baltimore Ravens. Their defensive strategy in this game was immaculate. Mind you, it was all about creating turnovers, getting in the passing lanes, messing up the timing with our receivers, because there was a lot of times they bumped our receivers off the route and it just messed everything up, and they were very chippy, and like it was a great game plan on the defense and execution, and the lacking of penalties being called on them allowed them to play so freely. We got nothing but penalties called on us, so we couldn't go out there and just play freely. It was frustrating. It was so frustrating. The Niners just kept on extending drives because of penalties, and whether they were warranted or not, it just kept happening. And it's kind of like that snowball effect. When everything's going wrong, it just doesn't stop going wrong. Frustrating. Kind of a very frustrating game to watch, but at the same time, I'm like sitting back just kind of chilling. Like, I can't be mad at this. It's just like, it's very fixable things, you know? Like, it's not like we just got the brakes beat off of us. We literally outgained them in yards. We just can't turn the ball over like that. Brock, you can't turn the ball over like that. He knows that. Kyle Shanahan knows that. Even Sam Darnold threw an interception. So it was a full-on defensive turnover execution by the Baltimore Ravens. And they're a good football team. And Lamar put them in a good position to win the game. And they did. What can I say? Ravens are that squad right now. They really are. They got all the momentum in the world. They are good. They are. So hopefully, maybe we'll see him again. The only time that we can see him is at the Super Bowl. But right now, our track record versus the Ravens is not very good. And the Ravens are like what now? Like what, 19-1 against the NFC, 20-1 against the NFC? I'm talking about like Lamar. Lamar doesn't lose to the NFC, apparently. So suck, dude. Yeah, that's my thoughts on this game. All you can do is just move forward, though. They literally just have to learn from this, move on, and go whoop Washington. That's the only option you have at this point. You just got to be better. You got to do better. So, yeah. I didn't think I was going to have a lot of thoughts for this game, but I really do. And you know what? Sometimes it just be like that. It's a hard pill to swallow, but when it rains, it pours was on full display tonight. Between injuries, turnovers, and penalties. Just nothing went right, despite outgaining them offensively, which is just crazy. So, whatever. We'll move on. Apparently, the only team that we can beat in the AFC North from our schedule is the Steelers. So, eat it, Steeler fans. Bye.